Hey, this is a dumbbell front raise, so it's a simple looking exercise, but there's a few details that really matter. So we'll start with a light weight. In this exercise, we're just gonna be raising this weight up with a straight arm and back down with control. Some of the details that matter, I want the thumb up. Sometimes it's called an open can exercise, like I'm holding an open can. And then as I reach up, I also want to reach forward. So and keep reaching through my arm as long as I can. That's gonna get the shoulder blade moving and work some scapular muscle strength. And so I'm not just kind of reaching up close, because you can see as I do that, my shoulder actually bunches up to my ear. As I reach up and forward, there's more space between my shoulder and my ear, even as I get more motion overhead. Whereas if I just reach up, I tend to shrug up. So we're trying to avoid shrugging, but we want to get this arm as long as possible. So I got a wall in front of me and obviously ceiling above me. So I'm trying to reach towards the wall, reach towards the wall. As I go up now, I'm trying to reach the ceiling, reach the ceiling, and then I come back down with control, the whole time keeping the elbow totally straight, because if I start to bend the elbow, then I'm using my bicep more than some of the rotator cuff muscles and the scapular stabilizers. You're gonna reach up just as high as you can without compensation. So for some people, if your shoulder's a little stiff, you might only get to about here, and then if you go higher, you might start to shrug towards your ear, you might start to side bend, you might start to push your head forward. We don't want any of that. So head and neck are relaxed, my core is lightly engaged just so I don't lean in any given direction, and we're just reaching as high as you can without having any of those compensations of the head or the body or a shrugging up. You'll probably know if you shrug up, if I shrug, my thumb rotates. And so we want this thumb to be straight up the whole time rather than tilting inward. That's called internal rotation, and often that movement can be associated with pain, or we're just not building the strength that we want. Final tip, whatever weight you have, squeeze it as tight as you can, because that's going to engage more of the rotator cuff muscles. So start with a light weight. If you don't have one, you can even take a water bottle and start with it half full or fill it all the way up, and then you can adjust as needed. And then as you progress, you can go to a heavier weight. But this one almost always stays pretty light. 5-8 pounds is probably the most I would have anybody do on this exercise. And typically we program at higher rep, somewhere 10 to 15 reps, something like that. So give it a shot. It's a challenging one, but it can be really useful in certain cases of some shoulder rehabilitation.